pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
TTC Vice Chairperson Brock Gibson, TTC Member Amanda Schwent,
Here.
TTC Member Whitney Tucker,
Here.
TTC Member Roseanne Ani,
Here.
TTC Member Rebecca Monia,
Here.
Board Liaison Joe Steiger,
Here.
Chamber of Commerce Representative Dina Freiler,
Here.
St. Genevieve County Representative Corey Ford. We have a quorum.
All right, so motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
In favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right. All right. Any opposed? No? Good. Approval of meeting minutes from last month. A motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting. I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Financials?
Yeah, it looks like we're either on pace or maybe going to come up a bit short. It's kind of hard to tell from month to month whether, what we're going to get, because if you look at any time in the past, it's kind of a mixed bag. So it looks like we should get to right about where we were last year. Other than that, we are operating with a surplus 63,000. And that's kind of all the things that have been kind of taken out this past year. That Miles partnership, that $12,000, that is a reimbursement from the state. So 10,800 of that will come back to the coffers. So we'll be operating at about 74,000 after that comes back.
Aaron, what's the $1,000
Yeah, that's
to
what I was gonna
the
ask you.
community service forum? Or community service, I'm guessing that's what it is, community service forum, maybe?
7:30.
If that's the marketing grant for the domestic violence rally.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
The sheet falls underneath the
Yep.
service form. I'm guessing. Does that sound right, Aaron?
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. So
That is, okay.
yeah.
Because the Foundation for Restoration is French. What is that one?
That was the TTC for French Festival.
And then this O'Neill,
Yeah, we just haven't been able to wipe it off of that. I explained that.
so that will go back on there.
No, one, I think it's kind of been passed. We weren't able to amend that, but it just won't happen again. Let's say that. So I apologize.
All right, motion to approve the financials.
So moved.
A second. A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No.
All right. Any opposed? All right. Public comments.
I don't know what he said.
Do we have anybody that wants to make any comments? I think we have a few. Go ahead. You want to come up?
They're fighting over it. That's a good thing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Giuliano. I'm the Executive Director of French Colonial America, which has a Center for French Colonial Life, museum campus, Bolduc House, all that. And I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, part of what you all are going to be dealing with tonight is going to be the issues of the advertising grant program and the guidelines and structure that you have to go with that system, correct?
Yes.
Well, I would just like to add, as someone who, one, has been sitting in Brock's chair there before a few years ago, and also on the other side of things, that the grants are awesome. It's wonderful, it's helpful. We're having so many more events evolving here. It's something really important and useful. However, I would also like to just share the perspective that having guidelines and sticking with them firmly is going to be very important for you as you move forward. The inclination in a community like this, close, interact with each other a lot, is to be kind and adaptable and helpful. And that's great, but this is a situation where you need to be strict, not to be jerks, but just to make sure that the perception is you're fair and you're treating everyone fair, because unfortunately the reality is there's going to be a lot of people who, and if you are kind and flexible and overly helpful for somebody, someone is going to misinterpret that as favoritism. And you all don't need that. You got enough challenges to deal with. So I would just like to encourage you to have a good set of guidelines and stick to them as fairly and consistently as you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good points. Appreciate it. Anybody else?
Good evening. I'm Kenny with Bricks Urban Winery and Market. I'm here about the Fly with the High Festival that I had back on June 28th, where I ended up having 40 vendors, and I had a very good feedback about everything.
Kenny, we've got you as a item on the agenda, I think, so I don't know.
Okay.
Or we're gonna be reviewing that during, so I don't know if we might be able to hold you off until
Okay.
we get to your actual.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that during other
Okay.
business. Yeah.
Unless you got something else besides.
Well, there was a couple of things I want to talk about. Couple things. First, my Sherwood Forest Festival I told you guys about before, which was my Renaissance type thing. We pushed that back to November 15th and 16th. So I got some people up in St. Louis that actually works with the Renaissance festivals up there. They're actually getting me a bunch of vendors that are actually going to come set up. I'm working on with Jeff to see if there's a spot maybe where they actually have like reenactments with sword fighting and shields and stuff. See if we can actually get stuff like that involved. And then besides that, on October 25th, I'm looking at possibly doing like a witches and warlocks night out. Kind of like how the Oktoberfest has like the, where'd they go to the bar crawl.
Yeah.
Kind of like a bar crawl in a sense for this first year, and then next year hopefully expand it into more of like a festival, but that's kind of my idea.
What day did you say for that?
October 25th. So,
And it's a costume event or?
yeah, and I'm wanting to see if Autobahns and Danny's cereals, everybody wants to get involved, and whatever money we raise, we'll actually donate to the Autism Foundation. So I'm gonna get with Chip, with Marzuko's. So if we can get something going with that. Kind of last minute, but I think in 2 months we can still pull it off, so,
Was that an evening event?
yes.
Are you going to be submitting applications for those two events for marketing funds?
I don't, with the Sherwood Forest Festival, yes. The other one, I don't know yet. Just because it's more or less a bar crawl. I don't know if I really need too much funding for that. It's more or less if we
Yeah.
can just get the word of mouth out and shove it everywhere. And
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
I mean, if I need much, it wouldn't be much at all, realistically. So, but I'm planning on trying to see if we can do that without any kind of funds. So
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
you're
so much,
welcome.
Kenny.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks for contributing.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Sandra Cabot. I'm a member of the Foundation for Restoration of St. Genevieve and also the co-chair for the French Heritage Festival. And as you all know, we applied to you for one of the tourism marketing grant funds from the TTC. It's the first time that the Foundation for Restoration has applied to the TTC for the marketing grant funds. Every year, we always apply to the Community Foundation and also to the Muni Grant for their grants for the performance of live music, because this festival has a lot of live music with it. In terms of the grant picture, this really allowed us to do some advertising in print ad formats. We do a lot of Facebook promotion for it, but in particular, the $1,000 grant that you approved, we really focused on the Webster Kirkwood Times. In the spring and in the fall, the Webster Kirkwood Times does a special section of their publication, and this is kept on, coffee house shelves and coffee tables for 6 weeks because it's things to do in basically St. Louis area and drive time from St. Louis for people that live in one of our really hot target markets, which is Webster, Kirkwood, Pagedale, those areas of St. Louis that really love St. Genevieve and tend to really respond well to our advertising. So we did an ad with them, and there were several other local businesses that participated in that spring ad. One was the Silver Sycamore Art Gallery, the Main Street Inn, and the St. Genevieve Museum Learning Center. And so we had enough collective ads from St. Genevieve to be able to encourage them to do actually some editorial on the community. So this is actually inside that publication. This is a half-page ad, a half-page article that they did with a photo from last year's French Heritage Festival. And then there is the French Heritage Festival ad right below it. And then the other St. Genevieve ads were kind of concentrated on the page before that. So for our money, we got a lot with both the print ad and then it included an online bump on their Webster Kirkwood website. So that was $547. The Jefferson County Leader, we did a one-time ad in that publication about 3 weeks before the festival. That was $377, and it also included a bonus online aspect. The St. Genevieve Herald, we got a real deal there. The ad was $115. They did run it a bonus week for us because the color wasn't quite what we had hoped in the first one, but they also did an article on the front page about the festival. And I think everybody remembers seeing this because it was just so striking with last year's queen of the festival, who was, chosen queen because it was a leap year, and at the King's Ball, every fourth year it's a Queen's Ball, and it's a queen that's chosen instead of a king. So that was $115.50. So that totaled $1,040, and your grant was very much appreciated for $1,000, and enabled us basically to do all of those above advertising in print in those target markets, both St. Genevieve, Jefferson County, and South St. Louis area. And this is kind of a little bit larger. example of what the promotional materials, thanks to Aaron and his creative skills, looked like this year. And as you know, there were several different aspects of the French Heritage Festival. I think probably Aaron covered some of that in a previous meeting for you, so I don't want to go into that. But we deeply appreciate the opportunity to apply for the Tourism Tax Commission funds, and it enabled us to do some advertising that, quite frankly, we could not have afforded to do without that type of financial support. We are a not-for-profit organization, of course, and the Lions Club always help us greatly, and tourism helped us a lot this year in terms of logistics for adding some additional attractions and activities for the festival. And we hope to continue to have it grow. And we'll probably be back next year unless you do away with the program. So please don't do away with the program. Appreciate it. And I'll leave these over here in case someone wants to take a look at them after the meeting.
And do you get any is there any way that you get, that you can get results from these? Like, do you know, like, did anybody talk about seeing it in the Kirkwood Times or?
So informally, we take a poll of our vendors in particular, and we also ask at the Welcome Center because, as you know, it's national parks and they can only promote their locations, but the city, as you know, maintains a desk there, and especially on the weekends, they answer questions. And we specifically interviewed some of those vendors and also the city person that works at the Welcome Center. And they specifically mentioned, South St. Louis. Kirkwood is always a hot one for us. And in addition, Queen Laura from last year is from Kirkwood area, and she brought, her entourage back with her again this year. So that was strong. It's always strong. But some of the other ones that were mentioned, of course, this is also due to social media probably, but in addition to like Jefferson County, we actually had people that came down from Kimmswick because Kimmswick was just too crowded that weekend and they just couldn't handle it. So they decided to come on down to the French Festival. So, there's different ways you could look at that, I guess. Cape Girardeau, there were a lot of people that saw probably the social media from Cape Girardeau, as well as Carbondale, Marion, those areas were mentioned. And also there's a strong reenactment contingent that displays and participates in this festival. And a lot of those reenactors are from Southeast Missouri and Southwestern Illinois, so that's probably a part of that. In addition, Dennis Stromat is our primary musical talent that plays during the festival. And he has a very strong following in Illinois because he's from Illinois. So probably there are multiple factors there. But I think just in general, awareness of the festival is growing each year. And the editorial that we get for free, actually, you're not going to get that unless you place an ad, but the editorial that we get for free, I think just reinforces that because it's an opportunity to people to be, drinking their coffee, looking at their version of our Herald, right? And seeing something that might be of interest to them to participate. Maybe they've always wanted to come to St. Genevieve and this is a good opportunity. Maybe they've been before, but it's been a long time. So most of that is more anecdotal than data-based. And of course, Aaron has data through the Placer AI in terms of numbers of additional people, but we don't know exactly who saw which ad or, who responded to which social media post.
I do have a suggestion. If you do that next year with the ads, if you can just email, maybe even the downtown board, downtown St. Genevieve, and we can push it out to all businesses.
Oh, sure.
That would be nice to have an opportunity to advertise in that.
So push the social media out so that you can push it.
When you put your ad in for Kirkwood or wherever in St. Louis, maybe send an email saying, we're gonna do this, or
right.
To get them to
get more ads.
More ads in St. Genevieve. Yeah.
I didn't get a separate insert with just that for that weekend and some of the merchants along with a editorial, written up and stuff on it. So
that's a great idea, like a special print.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because I didn't know that was possible, and I now have two businesses that would probably Rebecca.
yeah, absolutely.
Brock. You have 7. So.
Who's counting?
We could build.
We could potentially.
I mean, even like downtown St.
Oh, I
Genevieve, I want to do an ad. I'm not saying we would. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Yeah.
Well, and Dina knows, like, this was pre-COVID, but back in the day, we used to try to get all of the tourism-related businesses to take an ad in that fall and spring, especially the day trips, because it's not just one weekly publication that stays out there. You know, people refer to it, you know, you have people over for Memorial Day and they're all going, what's that you've got there? You know, look at these cool things you can do. So it has a longer life than even their regular ads. We used to have a lot more editorial at times like that, and we would try to coordinate it. I mean, you even had like fairly small businesses that would participate sometimes. So I think definitely we could do that for the French Heritage Festival for next year.
Yeah.
Sandra, you may have mentioned it, but do you have an estimate? Do you have any idea about how many people we had this year?
Well, Aaron can actually answer that.
Yeah, I can give that to you. So, and traditionally the festival has been more spread across the city. This year we really closed the footprint. And so with Placer AI, the way I've been kind of comparing the data is I have a geofence around the downtown St. Gen, and I've run the past numbers. So compared to last year, we had 1,500 visitors to downtown. This year we had 2,700. So we grew. We were up 64% compared to a normal Saturday. So that's pretty cool. And then within that geofenced area, and you know, some of this, the UTV for Down syndrome is happening at the same time. So what's great now that I have this area geofence for the French Heritage Festival, we can see if we keep that same footprint or marginally kind of, or just know exactly where that footprint's going to be when we expand, we'll really be able to tell. But it was a total of 658 people came through that area. And last year, the same property that was counting, which would be Jeff's property. I think you said it was what, like 150 people last year?
Yeah, it was a little under 150 last year.
So, and jump that up.
Besides your system, we did manual counting as well, and it came out remarkably close to.
And that's what's really interesting. Yeah, exactly. That's what's really interesting about Placer AI. I always wonder how.
Interesting or creepy, whatever.
Yeah, creepy for sure. Well, you know, when you know the kind of technicalities behind it, you know, they're extrapolating this data. So, you know, they're not exactly tracking everybody's phone per se, but yeah, it does come out creepily close. So they counted about 650 people. We counted Placer AI said 658.
Wow.
So that's wild. Yeah. But it's good to know that we have accurate data now. So, but yeah, everybody keep your phones very close.
Was this the first year you had someone that brought in old, period clothing, costumes?
This was the first year that we had rental costumes, because it's the first year there was a dance in the evening, and that was all Aaron's concepting. And having met this young woman yes, she's incredible. I think she would be a true friend to St. Genevieve for so many of the other things that we do. So I rented a dress from her and I had a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she came in and set up the day before, and people came in for their fitting. So it was a whole pageantry around it. So
I didn't know about it until she came into the shop for ice cream. And I was like, oh, I like your outfit. And she's like, oh, well, I actually do this. And I was like, oh.
yeah, no, and yeah, she's super meticulous. It was really great working with her.
Even after setting up all day and sweating, I went over and I apologized. I said, I am sweaty. I'm sorry. And she said, don't worry. I've seen it all. Let's do this. All right. Well, thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll leave these here until afterwards.
Just on a side note, Placer AI is on the fence. We're starting our budget process for the city, including the department. So Placer AI is on the fence whether it's going to get funded again for another year. So make that, if you're a fan of it, and if you like the creepy nature of it, make it known to your alderman and mayor that you would like to see it as a tool for our tourism department going forward.
And really, honestly, you know, David's not using it much.
5,000, 8,000?
No, it's 5,400. So we started at 5,000. Oh, it's 54. I got a quote from Hayden Nicholson, our representative. Said, "Hey, is this going back up?" And he said, "Next year, I have it in writing, 5,400."
for next year. So,
Good looking discount or what, huh?
yeah, well, pretty much. Yeah, I had to show some leg, but that's fine. I'll survive. Yeah, right. It was so yeah, no, yeah, and we split it between me and Dave's department, and David hasn't used it much, but it is a great economic development tool. And I've since my schedule's kind of reopened up, I sat through another tutorial. So we just need to keep sitting through these tutorials and just the kind of data that you can jump into. I haven't included that. I do have some Placer AI data that we'll go over, but one of the things I jumped into is the kind of demographics of people that come here. It's data with Experian. And you can go in there and you get the psychographics of the people who are like visiting you, and you can like you know exactly how they like to spend their money, this, that. I mean, creepy as all get out, but useful, absolutely, and especially when we have such a limited amount of funding, and we really need to be hyper focused to see how make our dollars stretch. And right now we are canvassing we're kind of casting a wide net is the approach. But as we get this data and start really plumbing it, we really need to think, how do we focus? Okay, now we've cast a wide net. We've seen how people are reacting to it, because you'll see like our psychographics from Placer AI and the kind of the sort of demographics that we're getting clicking on our ads with Facebook and Google. It's much different. So there's a point where Placer AI is charting the traditional people that have been coming to town. And our ad campaigns have been moving towards a non-traditional demographic. And we'll get to see that kind of evolve over time. But yeah, we'll also get some good psychographics on the people that are visiting and how to reach them better. So,
and I think that, we have to get kind of creative on how we use that data. I mean, especially if we're going to consider spending money on it, that what is the, what can we do with the information? It's cool to know it. It's fun to know it, but what do we do with it? And I think when we have like new events, like the Sherwood thing, and we can identify, especially on new ones, some of the things that people already know about, it's going to be a little harder to do that. But when we have a new event and we can see through the TTC grant, or if the individuals that are running it come in and talk about it, we can see what kind of things they did to do marketing and how much that impacted the results of that data. And then when we have another event that's a new event, we can look at that one and see, and compare, this is what they did to advertise, this is what these guys did to advertise, and this group, it increased the flow by, significantly more or less or what have you. So that becomes pretty valuable at that point. I just think we have to figure out how do we execute on that data, like what do we do with it once we
yeah, absolutely. And right now we're just sifting through it, and I think that's kind of the justification too, is like, do we keep it around? But honestly, I feel like we need to keep touching it at first. You need to keep jumping into it and doing the tutorials, and then something will click eventually. Like, this is how I'm going to use that. And especially, so unfortunately, it's one of those things that we kind of need some more time with. And
do we have an account manager that you can like talk to about like how do other towns like us, how do they use this data like to execute on something? And do they have somebody that you can reach out to?
They have people who can help you jump into the data, but
using it.
Yeah, well, I think again, that's like one of those things. Once I know what questions to ask, you know what I mean.
And maybe we can talk to other municipalities.
They do, yeah, because you remember when we went to the Main Street conference, and that's another another interesting thing is we're now interacting with these other communities through Missouri Main Street. They also have, some of them also have Placer AI, and we can learn from them, like, what are they doing? And these are towns within Missouri that are either kind of similar or much bigger, but, they're having to, the makeup's still a little bit the same. So I think we're doing all the right things to get that information, right? And to be able to execute on it and really bring everything under one umbrella. And it's a lot, because there is it's an environment. It is that we have. Tourism is not just you pull this one string and it's going to
make everything happen for you. It's a little environment that you have to feed, like a bunch of gigapets living in a, a little world.
Okay, cool.
Is it appropriate to ask questions right now, or?
Sure, yeah. It's public, we're still under the public.
If you want.
Regarding that data, no, I don't want to come up, I just want to ask a quick question.
Sure.
Regarding that data, can the shopkeepers get our hands on that? And did you say, does that come from the advertising company that you hired?
It doesn't come from the advertising company. It comes from Placer AI, who the city, contracted with, and it was for economic development and tourism, or community development and
That seems like that
tourism.
would be very helpful information to the shopkeepers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's
No,
coming and who we need to attract.
yeah,
How do we do that?
well, and there's some other things coming down the pipe again. This is new stuff that I'm trying to find out how to package up. But there's some other exciting things coming from the state, especially for your business and for other businesses. Some help with how to make your business more visible in a just a search on your phone on Google and that sort of thing. So there's a lot coming out of this one-man department, but yeah, I'm trying to get all this under one heading and put it into some sort of actionable use for you guys. So
Is there such a thing as a user login where they could access the data?
no, because that's the way we were able to work out this discount. Is it's only 2 users, so it's me and
Okay.
David on it. But I
Maybe
can.
set up an appointment, come in and.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do that. Please call me, text me if you want to come in and take a look at some of this. I can print out reports for you and that sort of thing, and I can help you interpret what who's.
That seems helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So yeah, please text me about that. And anybody watching on TV, text me.
Oh, hi, Chris Alexander from Music Art Love. So I didn't realize that on the agenda, you're going to be talking about the TTC fund and some of the requirements. So should I ask them the questions now, or can I ask them later if I hear what needs to?
Kind of.
Maybe you could just add some input, right?
They're just like generic questions, like, so on one of them, it says that it has to be a corporate entity or a nonprofit to apply for that. Is that anything like even just an LLC? Or does it have to be like a
Hang on,
huge
so where are
corporation?
you finding this
So
at?
that is on the, oh gosh, did I not bring up the right thing? So under the requirements, under the guidelines.
So under guidelines for applicant, the first bullet, under guidelines for applicant.
Yes, that should be what that means.
No, that's not it. Yeah, you can stay with me.
Because I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I've seen this,
Oh, here we go.
Us too.
Yeah.
It's a lot scarier than it
Email?
was last year.
less than a month ago.
Yeah, it has
How long
more
is it?
things.
A lot more things, like corporate entity, we don't have.
Is that just LLC or is that?
Yeah.
Sole proprietors and
Yeah, that's-
all of that.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
corporate.
So we
So that's
are
not
a
good.
corporate entity.
Yes.
Okay, and then the vendor spaces, it says, so is that for sure you have to offer a vendor space? And does it count like Whitney does the mask making? I'm talking basically like Mardi Gras in Maine and all that, like, or is it musicians
be-
too?
That would be
or-
like where it says and or other opportunities for participation in the event. So that would be,
Anybody like musicians and other artists or
well, that would be like how you said you did like the
the mask
the
making?
mask.
Okay.
That would fall underneath that.
Okay, and then it says attract a minimum of 500 guests. I'm not sure how many
always
we
the
got.
goal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we weren't able to
We've had
track.
some smaller events where they've tried to, have a very intimate event, and it was, for 50 or less, and it was like, that's not really what we're going for.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
think you're right, though, the language, because it says
Yeah.
to be eligible for support. Some of that could be interpreted in a certain way. So
Right.
yes, I think there's.
There's a lot of ambiguity going on.
Yeah.
I think that's why we have it on our agenda tonight to address these issues. So this is stuff that we've, I think we've been administering the grant in an interesting way compared to these guidelines, but a lot of the board, even prior to this board, had not seen
Well,
these
I think,
guidelines.
I think for the most part, we've been following.
Within the, yeah, we are.
It's just,
Sure.
there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of,
I think the big part is the matching.
Well, yeah, is that gonna be?
We haven't been doing, but that's,
It was never intended to be a matching
it
grant,
was never intended to be a matching.
not to my knowledge.
But it will be
Does it
now?
have to be, or?
Well, we're gonna figure
They're
it out.
gonna figure it out.
Scary.
Because we don't know where else to go for another
We
grant.
already had to put a lot of money out of our own pockets.
We're going to address that.
Yeah, or else tell us what other grants are out there possibly, I mean, if you know, because we don't know. And then on a totally different note, unless.
Wait,
you
I want to
have
do, I have two questions on
Yeah.
the same note. One of them was,
We're very organized.
but I did write things down. Last year, we were told that we should ask for more money, which would have been so helpful. But I believe that there's a cutoff at where we were, and if we ask for more money, there's additional tax documents or something that comes into play. Do any of you know anything about that?
I didn't see anything like that.
You need the W-9, right?
If you make more than 600 in a calendar year, then the W-9 has to be used as a tax form. So the 600 is the number you're looking for.
For, as the event that makes more than 600?
If the
or-
event, yeah,
For-
because the event certainly
For you
doesn't.
to have tax implications at the end of the year.
For revenue.
If you receive more than $600, we're going to.
From you or from the event?
That should be revenue.
I mean, that's just like personal knowledge, right? If you make over $600,
There's some.
Yeah, this is a
you
great.
know that you have to do
report
that.
it.
But that's not from the
Report,
grant.
that's on you, not us, right?
That's on what we make, not talking about the grant, but people coming to the area?
Yeah, that doesn't change the grant.
Coming to the
anyway.
event?
Yeah, does not change the grant anyway.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And then, you might have said you were about to address this, but, define advertising, like the money can only be spent on advertising. So if we have a mask making event and put, Mardi Gras on Main or whatever, is that advertising or is that strictly for like going to the newspaper and the TV?
Advertising is the promotion of the event. So like your social
Before the
media,
event
your
happens?
newspaper, your radio, your
Before the
TV.
event, yeah.
It's not koozies, banner, I mean, mail banners
T-shirts.
probably could be, but t-shirts, banner, that stuff is not advertising.
Okay. Banners is
Banners are
not?
though.
A banner, I think a banner is advertising.
Yeah, that-
We should define it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because if it's a banner, you're gonna hang up,
Right.
like prior to, but if it's a banner you're just putting up that night, then no. But
Right.
if it's a banner advertising several weeks ahead of time, that's a little.
And how hard is it to put a banner up where the Jour de Fête banner goes?
Call citizens.
Call Citizens Electric.
Citizens
Citizens
Electric.
Electric?
They'll tell you what size it needs to be too.
Okay,
That banner is advertisement,
okay.
Okay.
yes.
The making of it and the installation of it, both advertising?
Yes.
Installation,
They don't charge.
They don't charge,
installation is free, citizens won't charge.
yeah, they don't charge. Because then-
Yay, them.
You give them enough notice.
So say they'll only put it up whenever they take one down, they told me. That's the only time, they won't just put it up, usually just for no reason. Usually they got to take one down at the same time, usually.
That makes sense.
So maybe.
Spread our tax dollars wisely, I like that. All right, that's all I got.
Okay, and then just because we were at some of the merchants yesterday, and so Aaron knows I'm always complaining about the app and the website because AI, I guess it's AI, the occasion
Genius. Yeah.
genius, it jumbles up all my words and it's promising things that I don't have. Also, some of the restaurants, it's doing that too, saying that they don't have outdoor seating or that they have lasagna and they don't. I mean, just things that like, why are you putting things that we don't offer?
On what is that?
This is
On
on
the-
the app. So
On the app
Occasion
and
Genius,
the
where
Visit St. John site.
the plug-in that I have that it combs the internet and finds events that are close to St. John or should be within the boundaries of St. John. When it populates them, there's been some problems with that. We're working through those kinks. Just email me.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be all the time because I went through again today. I'm like, oh my gosh, it says trivia night, but it doesn't have the time or date. And I fill it in exactly the same way every time. And then it takes something from AI and just jumbles up and promises stuff that I don't have. And that's not good. Like I've got words written, but I can't put the words on that site. So wherever it's getting it from, it's not even taking the right words or the right description. And that's not just me, that's for the dining too, or you can't find out, you have to go to an extra step to see where it's located.
That's a me thing.
Okay.
Just email me.
Okay.
Call me.
I will.
Yeah, please. I will work on it.
And then, yeah, because it's all three sites. When I went to the Visit St. John from my laptop,
It's all,
My-
it's all the same
No,
plugin.
it's,
Oh, it's
no,
different
it
stuff.
looks different on
Well,
each
it's
thing,
optimized
and the
for
phone is
it's
different, and the
optimized
app
for
is
mobile
different. Yeah.
So it's
Are you
the
talking about the
phone versus
wording and everything?
laptop.
is different?
No, like even just how to, like, one thing might have like the address listed on like the laptop, but then on the phone, I realized that it's smaller. You can't get everything on there. But then the app is also different than when you type in on your phone, Visit St. John. So it's not really,
Probably like if you're driving and reading your phone, they don't want you to read out too much, so.
probably. Yeah, I mean, I know you have to condense, but,
A less.
but yeah. And yeah, and then just, I think a lot of the merchants just don't even know, which they should be here, I get it, but I don't think, like, I know you sent us a link that we could get into and to post things, and that wasn't available. We couldn't get on it. It was like some asking me for all these other things. But now the submit the event is better, but I didn't know about that until a non-merchant told me. So I think a lot of us don't even know how to access all this or that it's available. I don't know, maybe just like a flyer.
Is it
just
easy?
say,
Yeah, I
like,
was gonna say.
update your
easy enough?
stuff.
Is it easy enough to put on on one page to?
Yeah, I think just to say like, hey, I don't know how to plug everybody in, I guess. You know, I try to tell people what I know, but, you know, coming from you or just update if it's not right. Because I saw a lot of things that were old and
That'd be nice.
not there, and lodging is all messed up. I mean, so anyway, that's my gripe. But,
Okay.
all right, so I'll be on you about that, Aaron.
Bob, put me down. We should do another little town hall.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
So,
All right, thank you, guys. Thanks for everything.
Yep. Any other public comment? No? Okay. Can we wrap that up? Old business?
good. Past events, first up, we have Moonlight Madness. I'd like somebody from downtown St. John to report on that. How did that go?
It's me.
Yeah, right.
We weren't open yet.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really hear a lot of feedback, to be honest with you, so.
Yeah, did we talk about extending it next year, like hours? Oh, yeah,
We did talk about it.
Yes.
It didn't, I think it needed to be going later.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Was it 7?
Yeah.
Yes, even I was like, this ends at 7? Like, I'm not even
We did.
done with working at 7.
So the feedback that we had is that they didn't like it on a Friday. They wanted us to
Yeah.
move it back to like a Wednesday or a Thursday. But Friday, I think it's over at 7 because of the music series at the Orson. So that's why they were trying to coincide that. But I agree. I think if we move it to a Wednesday or
needs
Thursday,
to go like 9 o'clock,
you could
yeah.
run it to like 9. It used to be.
Yes, it used to be 9, yes, yeah.
Yeah. I think so. And we didn't do a theme this year, and we had a lot of people say that they preferred a theme over a non-theme. So.
Yeah, so I think if we push it out and then do a theme, it'll be better.
I mean, I don't know, some of the merchants here, how'd you guys do for Moonlight Madness?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't-
yeah. It was
Money.
lost money.
And it's confusing too, because like a lot of us were the only workers, so then we're there all day, and I had an event that night, so it's like, well, I'd like to take a break in between, that's why I
Sure.
didn't like Madness was when I couldn't, you know, so it was just like, and nobody came by ours.
Do you guys prefer a theme?
I think if you're gonna do it, a theme would be good, something
Things are
different.
fun.
It
You
kind
know,
of,
since we have
yeah,
art walk, you know, maybe a different night, I don't know.
it was art walk? It
Well,
was
no, I mean,
No, it
that we
wouldn't
have
have
art walk.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
6 to 9.
Yeah.
That a Moonlight Madness being earlier.
Well,
We'll do it on our block night.
We are thinking about moving it back to a Wednesday or Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have a preference? No? Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome. But that's really the only, I mean,
That's the only feedback. Jour de Fête happened, of course. That's our well-oiled machine. Things were busy again this year. They weren't, I looked through the Placer AI data, if anybody's curious. That was, last year, there was 14.6 thousand people in town. I think the weather really contributed to that. This year, we had 12.2 thousand people.
weather contributed to that too.
And the weather also contributed to
More
that.
than Haiti.
And then also they had that cement truck that overturned in Peebly. That was
backing up traffic.
Oh, oh my goodness.
So I heard that and I said, oh, that kind of makes sense too. But, you know, Jour de Fête is, like I said, is a well-oiled machine and they're just chugging right along, you know. Bringing 12,000 people to town is excellent. So that was just, and those were just on the Saturdays each time. So, but yeah, there's a huge spike on the Saturdays and then it drops off pretty
Did you get
significantly
data
on
on Sunday?
Sundays.
Do you have Sunday data?
I didn't.
I'd be curious on Sundays too.
Yeah,
with
just
the-
to see
like-
how did it
How
The
did it
streets were bare, I
About
thought.
Yeah.
I was down Sunday.
third at best of what
Yeah.
you
And I thought last year Sunday was pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
The weather
agree.
was beautiful.
It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
and that's it. When are we going to get 70, mid to low 70s days? If it would have been like the weekend before, yeah, it would have been just perfect. We would have had another record-setting day. But yeah, that's just one of those things. It's like, you know, if we're over 10,000 on a day, for sure,
Yeah.
that's awesome stuff.
Also,
say 14,000 people came to Jour de Fête?
On Saturday,
that was last year. This year was
12,000 this year.
12.2, yeah.
yeah.
Where were they?
I mean, it's really, you know, not that it's nominal, but when you're talking between 14 and 12,000, yeah, it's
And that's a good point. I was just about to say that because it was funny the day on Saturday, I had felt, you know, we were down in the corner of Main and Merchant and I felt like it was loaded with people. I thought there was a ton of people. Even on Sunday, I felt like there was. But then I heard people that were on a different side of the street tell me that they felt like it was slower. And I'm like, that's strange. I felt like it was actually pretty good this year. And so I think that we probably should figure out a way, maybe it's through Placer AI, to identify the zones where
you
where
can see
these,
the hot spots.
Yeah, I think
Like they have a
'cause-
concentration.
because I don't, you know, and maybe, you know, maybe a certain section of town, it was up and a certain section of town was down. And like, we can maybe figure out what those trends are and why that would happen because I definitely, you know, just like what you were just saying, like you were like surprised about that. But Jour de Fête is well, that's a long stretch, you know, since it goes all the way back to the creek and, you know, all the way up. That's a pretty good long ways. And I don't know if maybe say I didn't go down there very much. I was stuck up on Main Merchant. So, well, I don't know. I don't know if it was. So when somebody asks me if it was busy, I tell them what I saw in front of Main and Merchant, but I don't know how it was down there under the tracks and all
I
that.
mean, our shaved ice truck is down there every year and we do well every year.
Yeah,
It's a good spot.
down
Just
under the
it's,
track.
yeah.
What's the good spot?
Down by the grass.
Moses Austin.
Yeah.
I'll give you two anecdotal. The Rotary does their duck races. If the ducks are overflowing from their 55, but they were way down. The ducks we were probably down by a quarter. If you go to Lions Club Park, we probably sold a third amount less in beer and drink sales compared to last year. So we were down.
I think a lot of it
quarter
was
to a
weather.
third.
Were you in the same location?
Yeah, Lions Club Park. We haven't moved. So, but yeah, it was down. Probably because of the heat. I'm sure it was a big contributing factor. Just hot. Yeah. Can't change the weather, I guess.
We had the Missouri Main Street Conference. Brock went with me and so did Joe. So that was great. We got to participate. I really learned some great stuff. We had some incredible speakers. They had a storyteller speaker talking about just the importance of storytelling. I think Brock really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. Who is the lady you brought out from Cape? She has a bold.
Dana Thomas.
Yes, she was there. She gave an incredible speech about
awesome.
AI products and things like that. So yeah, it was great she spoke to the whole crowd. And then we broke off into some individual sessions. I learned a lot about even we sat in on one. It was about making a website for your main street and what should be on there, but really great stuff for Visit St. John as well. And how to recruit volunteers, which will be great regardless. So those were my two big ones. You know, some of them were hit or miss, but some of them really were awesome. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Joe,
I think
Brock, you want to chime in?
I think that meeting gave me a better perspective on the breadth of this group and the organization and what they can bring to the table and seeing other towns and what they have done and other opportunities that we have to work with different areas of this Main Street program. And so it gave me, at least for me, so I haven't worked with that group before, it gave me a better perspective and a nice perspective of how big this actually is and how much this can make a positive impact in this town. So it's pretty neat, pretty neat program. And all the sessions were great. I mean, the sessions were very good. I mean, there were a couple that probably, sometimes they're companies coming in selling stuff to you, but most of them were not. Most of them were people that actually had real experiences, and it was really neat. I was going to say something also, kind of reflecting on Jerdafet, but something that we did down there, and sorry to change up the Main Street thing, but I just want to go back to this real quick.
No, it's all good.
In the beer garden at Audubon's, I put up, it was, somewhat janky, but I put up a garden hose that had a sprayer on it, like a mister, and people loved it. Like it was a big deal. So we should consider on some of these hot events, like whether it's the city or we just put the news out or the idea out there that people do this, but having that makes it, I mean, even working the beer garden, just having it near me felt cooler. I wasn't, I'd walk by it, but it felt cooler having that there. And I think downtown during that brutal heat, during that thing, man, if there were some just misters just plotted around in different places, just.
On my hose, on my tent.
Yeah.
Jerdafet used to do that, Brock.
Oh, really?
10-minute segments that work great.
In that same area.
Really?
Because that used to be like their little hub,
Yeah.
their headquarters. They used to have like big black fans with the.
Oh, the blowers, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I don't know why they don't do it anymore, but they used to do it.
Yeah.
The Welcome Center, Dana?
The Jerdafet board used to do it right there on the corner of Merchant and Main, like right where Audubon's and the beer
They
garden
probably
is.
rented them.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they did rent them, but they always had a area set up just for that.
Was it like a cool down area?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
their
yeah.
cool down area.
Yeah, we should consider, I mean, I don't know if we did, but if we don't have those, that should be something we should seriously consider for any event in the summer.
right.
That we have just a cool down zone somewhere that has that. What's that?
Six Flags has those neat ones.
Yeah.
Maybe we
right.
can buy one off of them.
Yeah, right.
Might sell them cheap.
Yeah. No, I think that's something we should consider.
Well, going back really quick to the Main Street Conference, I'm just glad that you guys participate in that because I truly, and I've said this time and time again, the fact that we are back in their good graces is a huge win for us, and we should not take that for granted. So I'm really glad that you guys did that, and I can't wait to go to the next one.
Right. And we've got some other events coming up, so I'll be sending those to the board, just all of the other possibilities. But what that also did was we have to get a certain amount of points per year to stay in. And that was big. I think with all three of us, we're supposed to get 10 points a year. I think we got 9 just from that, sending everybody to that. So
This is some of the information that I brought back, and I'm blown away. It was I've been to hundreds of seminars and conferences and trade shows, and it was really well put together. I almost didn't go. I appreciate the board encouraging us to go and spending the money. It was a really good, one of the classes that I sat in was creating private momentum. And it was in Lebanon, Missouri, and they took a downtown space, it was a private entity. None of this was government, none of this was tourism department, but they took an empty building and basically had a contest almost in a way, like a Shark Tank, and they were advertising it to get a new business in their downtown area. Lebanon, Missouri is kind of fledging a few years ago, and this was an idea to bring it back. And they had 67 applicants fill out an application to rent this space. And they were given the first 6 months free, and then the next 6 months was like half off. They got 12 local business professionals to mentor this new business for 12 months. Every month they met with their insurance person, their banker, their social media coordinator, their all these different things, the CPA, and they went through and they put together, and they had a panel to judge it, and they found out what that Main Street needed. This happened to be a bakery. They didn't have a bakery, and it ended up being a bakery, won the contest, and she just finished up her 12th month, and she's ecstatic. It seems like they're going great. So it's things like this that this Main Street Connection program, I think, will do for us too here to kind of invigorate and rejuvenate the downtown even more so than it is. It was just That was just one of the, I don't know, 12 classes that we got to take. Yeah.
And they committed $15,000.
Your counterpart from Chill Coffee was there. I forget her name.
Crystal.
She did a great talk. And I wish I could go through all this and share it, but I mean, if we get a chance to go to the next one, everyone should go because it was really well done. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
This is the same Main Street initiative from years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how did we fall out of their good graces?
that's in the past.
Yeah. Just by some negligence. Let's just put it that way. And then,
And
I don't
now we're
think-
trying to get back in.
no, we did.
I
We
think
did.
and there, I don't think there is anyone there that has that long a memory because everyone we talked to was
Wonderful. Yeah.
excited to have us. I mean, they were excited. They would come seek us out and say, "Hey, come over here. Have you seen this?" So it was. So I think we have a real good opportunity with Main Street Connection.
And we got to see Aaron do karaoke, so that was.
That was outside of, I didn't do karaoke for the whole, I would have. I mean, if they do it next year, I will, for sure, but, upcoming events, we've got Oktoberfest.
Real quick, Farmer's Table.
Oh,
has
Farmer's
3
Table as
tickets
well.
left. 3
Awesome.
tickets left before we're sold out. So if you want to do that, you have 3 more opportunities.
And that is Friday, September 13th?
12,
12th.
Saturday the 13th.
Yeah, gotcha. Oh, yeah, no, that's good, actually. Beautiful. Yeah, and that was such a great event last year, I really, and if weather holds, it'll be on 3rd Street again?
No,
It's
it's
gonna be,
going to stay in the
stay-
fairgrounds.
okay, gotcha. All
It
right,
just
perfect.
fits the vibe.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is Oktoberfest here?
That was
It's here,
Farmer's
it's coming
Table.
up.
No, he just mentioned it before
It's September 13th,
September 13th.
the day after Farmer's Table.
Yeah, and that same day, we're gonna have the Fall Market Fair, which will be put on by some vendors from Fort Deschart. They get in period clothing and, yeah, that should, that's the same as Oktoberfest.
Saturday. Oh, okay.
September the 13th. And yeah, they did a impromptu spring market fair. But yeah, they do a really great job. They're going to have it's going to be 3 or 4 different historical periods from like the 1780s to the 1800s, the 1800s to the 1830s. And then they're going to have like a camp of Native Americans of Osage. And yeah, it should be an interesting time. That's going to happen on the Center for French Colonial Life campus.
And the rally crushing is also the same day as Oktoberfest,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
October 13th.
Yeah, we should see it.
They're gonna have a trolley running back and forth.
Oh, awesome. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's Kathy Kreidler's event. That's right. Yeah, she's been interfacing with me a lot. She's great. She's super excited about, and she's super organized. She's got all that kind of humming along too. And I think she's talked with the Oktoberfest committee and she was able to get the trolley to be running back and forth between the community center and downtown. So that'll be really cool. So another part of old business, we have the TTC grant application process review. This is where we will kind of go through the marketing grant and see, what we need to.
I think what we can do is just go through this one section at a time and think about if we want to reword it, strike it, or add something to each one of these sections.
I have a question. Do you want to do that during a regular meeting?
Don't we have to? I think we have to.
It would be really hard to go. I've gone through this in detail and
Just got highlights too.
there's a lot in here. I think that it really could benefit from a very
Like a
specific.
committee
Work session.
work session.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a committee. I think it should be all of us.
Okay.
I think
But
it's
yeah,
just
work
like,
session.
Essentially all vote on it. It should
Yes.
be all of us.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot in here, like I see
Like, this
her
will take
highlights,
2
I have
hours.
highlights, and yeah, I just think that there's a lot that has to be identified in this.
So is that was the question that we had before the started was like, is this the only setting or can we have a special meeting?
Session.
And
It's
it's,
a
it
special meeting, it can't be closed, but you
can't be closed. Okay.
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 We have to
Can we
advertise
have a
before-
work session?
You can have a work session, it has to be advertised 24 hours in
Right.
advance. It's an open meeting still.
Right, sure.
Okay, so do we want to do that?
Does it have to be in here, or can we do it in the boardroom in there? Has to be in here.
here.
It's not very conducive.
Yeah, right, it'd be nice. We can all pile
We can
around that
sit right
table.
here.
Is it televised, Happy, the work
It's up to
session?
the TV station. I mean, we
I
do,
mean, not that that matters. I mean, I don't.
It doesn't matter, it's just
to me,
me.
It doesn't make a difference.
I don't know how many people are going to want to sit there and listen to us talk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
Whatever.
I mean, I think if it's we get together and this is the only thing we're talking
Yes.
about, it would be better than
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
it now.
I think
We've
that's
already been going for an
I
hour.
agree.
Yeah, so we
All
need
right,
to,
let's do
we need
that.
a special meeting for that, so we will,
I mean, can we just set it now?
Yeah.
Sure.
we should do
Can we
that.
do next Tuesday? Oh, Dina's gonna be
That's
gone.
fine. You don't have to do it.
I mean, we could do the second, but then we're moving the chamber and the license department, so then the 9th.
Ooh, the 9th,
Does it have to be?
levy district meets in here, yeah, you can't do that. Well, you can, but it would have to be like 6:30.
Can we order pizza?
Can we?
I mean, we can do it in the morning, you know, and we don't have to do it on Tuesday, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
can do it.
I can't do
Well,
mornings.
I work
Ever.
weekday.
Really?
No.
Wednesday?
Mornings for me are not.
Yeah.
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 What about Wednesdays, Happy?
Second and fourth Wednesday is when they record, what's new.
Oh,
That's in the evening.
they might like that.
What about tomorrow?
That's at 7, so you can do 6 to 7 or 5:30
Oh, I
to
can't.
6:30 if you want to fit it in early.
5:30 to 6:30 we could? I mean, that'll give us
Wait,
a,
did you say the 26th?
wait, that was the 10th, right? A Wednesday?
Yeah.
A Wednesday.
What about the
Are we
third?
gonna-
What about the
Does,
third?
does the 26th work for
The
everyone?
3rd, I'm out on the 3rd, for sure.
The 26th.
Of August, next Tuesday.
26th, I could do
I think
that.
that works.
I don't have anything in the evening, so yeah.
26th August.
A week from today.
Is it a date?
Works for me.
Is there anything on the calendar then? The 26th? Okay, let's just do that.
Yeah, let's
It's meant to be.
Same time, 5:30?
5:30.
Can somebody send an email out?
Yeah, I mean, we need,
Thank you. I need
I'm gonna put us all in a, like a meeting. I'm just sending it right now, and then I'll put everybody in it tomorrow.
where do we have to post that at, Happy?
I'm sorry.
Where do we have to post that?
Or did you post
Or do
it?
you,
Put it
okay,
David will post it for you.
Perfect.
okay, that just cut.
That's great. Yes, you did. Make sure that's tonight.
Okay, well, yeah, and now I will go into a lengthy tourism report. I brought, I did bring a lot of, sort of, data today. So if you guys can grab your report, it's a separate thing. It should have the little heading and then the tourism report. And if you could just, go to this little graph and we'll kind of, instead of running through a tourism report, I just kind of want to go over this data with you. So this sheet front and back is, this is something we take out with our MMG grant. This is the matching grant that we get from the state every year. We do this twice a year for a total of about 41,000. So the state takes on 20,500 of this. But all of the stuff we do with the MMG has to be promoted outside of a 50-mile radius. And McDaniels has been running this for us. And so what they wanted to target with these Google and Facebook display ads is overnight markets, places that have a quick plane ride here or directly to St. Louis, and who would be interested in doing things in and around the St. Louis area. So one of the interesting things you can see, one of the demographic things on the Google demographics, and even it's the same, of course, we're targeting these cities, but kind of the same cities. But it's interesting that Dallas-Fort Worth is pretty much at the top for both of those. So that shows that that area is really liking what we're putting out and interested in visiting. And then, of course, Chicago is a no-brainer, but it's really nice to see that they are invested in coming out here. And in fact, I've met a few different groups from Chicago, and they love this small town vibe. It's kind of perfect for Chicago because it's, you know, we've kind of got like an exclusive hoity-toity atmosphere, and they like that. And but it's also small and quaint and community-oriented. And then it looks like Nashville is always kind of our third city down. On Google, Kansas City is down, but on Facebook, it's our number 4. But you can see how everything kind of shakes out there. But it's really interesting. The bulk of our views and clicks come from the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Chicago. And then the other interesting sort of demographic breakdown, a lot of our psychographics that we're getting from Placer AI show like an older community coming and visiting us, and then like families. But as you can see, for the Google demographics, I guess this is really uncreepy because 52% they can't tell who the age is. So that's nice and uncreepy. I like that. 24%, the next biggest bolt, is actually people 25 to 34 years old. So that's an interesting demographic. And then close to 15% is 35 to 44, which we would expect to see. We actually, in our own demographics, of course, we have a lot of boomers and silent generation people that live here, but we also have a really healthy millennial crowd that lives here. So anyways, we're kind of seeing that reflected in our markets. And then the gender breakdown is really interesting because basically on social media and anywhere I see, I think our audience is mostly female, but on this gender breakdown for Google, 65% male. So I think that's really interesting. And then the breakdown of users, 97% are using their phones, and it's even more on Facebook. It's 99.8%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, are using their phones to view this
I'm the
material.
0.25 on my computer.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. So I find that really interesting, and that is really helpful to know that people are going to be viewing this content on their phones. They're probably going to be scrolling pretty quickly, so you have it kind of patterns you to like you need something flashy, a flashy ad that's going to get there, a flashy shiny hook that's going to get them to bite.
Facebook, the breakdown is almost 50-50.
It's 50-50 women and men, and then
That's strange. Why would that
That's
be?
interesting.
I think also
So men Google more.
More guys.
yeah, right.
That's very true.
I think you're very right.
Men Google more than Facebook.
Yeah.
That's funny.
They don't know how
Yeah,
to.
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. We like a very just give us the answer.
Just Google it.
Come on, Google, give me your answer.
So how do you, what's an impression?
And
Anybody know what that is?
That's like in your face.
Yeah, they've scrolled past it at least. Like
Yeah.
they've seen it, they haven't
Like
made
if
any.
you do Facebook advertising, they give you so many impressions. It's basically,
Yeah.
it's there, an opportunity for you to scroll past
Yeah.
it, whether you see it or not. It's-
So the reason that you see half the clicks from Dallas, but more impressions is because it's closer in proximity.
Basically, it should
Chicago's
be-
closer, so they're more likely to click on it to see what it is.
Well,
Versus,
yeah.
Okay.
And your impressions are always going to be bigger because something has to be in front of your face 3 times before you actually.
You know what would be interesting is to see what the percentages on these are, like of the impressions, what percentage of people are actually clicking
yeah,
to see which places are most interested.
Yeah, no, that is true. Because the Facebook is a little bit, and then you're kind of sifting through Facebook, and I'm glad we only did 2 things because you kind of see there's some interesting. You have more impressions but less clicks. But then on Facebook, it looks like we've got more impressions and more clicks from Dallas. So
Yeah.
and I think also with the age breakdown of Facebook, which is but that's Instagram too. So they are getting in. But you have 47% is the 45 to 54 age range, and then it kind of descends from there. 35% is 35 to 44, and then 20% is 25 to 34.
So what are we doing with this data?
We're looking at it for right now. You know what I mean? Like, and it's also, this isn't like it's inactive. These are people that have seen it, clicked, this is actionable data, but it's interesting to see what we do with this data is eventually aggregate it to where we go. Well, and I don't even know about that because basically this is a kind of new market that we're dipping our toes into. We don't have like a 10 years worth of, we've been doing Facebook marketing ads like this. And so we can really see if things have shifted.
Did you remove St. Louis out of this?
I didn't.
So you're telling me more people that
They remove themselves.
They removed themselves, right. But I honestly, I need to go back and see who we targeted. I think these are just the 8 cities that we.
Oh, we didn't give, we picked this list.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, even on the backside, even on the Facebook side, St. Louis is number 6. I find that very
And
interesting.
that's
But
right.
that's really
Yeah.
not our market though, if you think about it. We don't, I mean, we draw more from like.
But
the
Dallas is
Nashville
more,
area. I mean,
Dallas has,
Well, I think,
Dallas has 6 times as many people
Yeah,
clicking
I
than
get
St.
that.
Louis.
but also, I mean, I might need to talk to McDaniels and see how they did that because really this is for overnight markets. And St. Louis isn't an overnight market so much as it is a day trip, right? But I think I was pretty bullish on promoting this time around this fiscal year in St. Louis. This next fiscal year, McDaniels talked me out of doing St. Louis. They're like, let's just do overnight markets so we can see if we can move the needle on that.
Hey, Aaron, just super quick.
Yeah.
What does, on your recommendations and observations, what does CTR and CPC stand for?
Right. CTR is click-through rate. And that's just basically what they're saying it has decreased slightly because we were kind of on the back end of our CTR. And what was the other one?
CPC, second.
CPC clicks per
Cost per click.
cost per click. That's right. So apparently there's something with the, if you're getting a less of a sort of click rate, it costs more.
And this, is this clicking on the what, like the Visit St. Genevieve?
Yeah, so basically, our ads go to our website, basically.
Oh, for the website. So this was coming from the website, like where that, okay, I see.
We're pushing people to the website. That's why I spent so much time redoing the
It's
website.
actually cheaper too. The website is cheaper.
Yeah, I see that.
It is cheaper. And then 125,000 people went to our website.
And actually, I have that in the report. If you look on the very second page of the report, these are our website stats from Jay Rudney. So there's a third bullet point there. So this is what's cool. This is what these ads are generating for us website-wise. The total unique users is up 122% from last year. So we've more than doubled the people that are coming to our website. The amount of sessions is up 113%. Engaged sessions, so people that are going to one or more sort of parts of our site, is up 126% over last year. And then our engagement rate is up slightly, but that's great. That also means these are people that are going to one or more sections of our site. So that's what these ads are generating for us is people going to our website, and now it's just and Christine, that's why it's so important for you to engage me when you see something that's not right. I can't have my eyes on that website 100% of the time, so I need everybody in the community's eyes so that I can correct that stuff, because ultimately what we're doing, what we're spending money on is we're spending money on pushing people to our website, and our website has to push people to visit. So it's as simple as that. And if our website is not optimized or is confusing or whatever, we're not going to convert those people into visitors. So
They're gonna click right off.
they're going to click right off, and they're going to be like, screw that place. They can't even get a good website. So now we'll go into the Placer AI data. It starts with this little, that's the geofence downtown that I chose. So I had the leg of North Main. I have a little bit up by Luna's and not Luna's, Love Goods and the museum right there. And I think I included Jurafet Park in that. So you'll kind of see on the next page of that, our visitation was up 11,000 from last year, and that's visitation. So if you look under visitors, we are down in total number of visitors, but what I think is encouraging is we're up in the frequency that these people are visiting. So that has led to us having more visits. And I think that means a couple of different things. We, are offering, we are delivering on what we're promising to people, with what we're advertising and how we're advertising. People come here and they go, oh yeah, this is exactly what I expected.
Well, we're underselling and over-delivering.
I hope that.
I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, for sure. And so I think that's a really positive correlation.
Anything to do with that?
The eclipse, so if you look on the very next page, there's a little graph and you'll see a nice little red spike.
There it is.
That's the eclipse.
What's this one?
Right there.
That is,
Christmas walk?
that's Honey Festival.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, I do have a question. I think you've answered this before, but like the visitors, they don't count me as a visitor. I don't
No.
live in St. Genevieve, but since I commute.
No, the way they count is really, I'm still dazzled about how they count that, but it does, and they can even count people who are within St. John County as a visitor, but not the people that are just going back and forth, back and forth. I don't know how they count that, but somehow it doesn't. I need to
Because
maybe
I do
get
live
back
in the
to them.
county, but I do go back and forth.
Yeah,
a
I don't
lot.
think they're counting you.
Like I'm like
Right.
2,000 of these.
Because when you can break down the data where they know who's a resident, which is again creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can break it down in between residents and visitors, and so I don't think they are counting you.
This is day, right? The day.
Yeah, that's the.
So what is this blue spike there on around 162?
162? That is this year's French Heritage Festival.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. So
if you notice right there from about 139 to 176 or so, the blue is much higher than the red.
And I'm hoping that means, and what we'll see over time, I'm hoping what that means is our marketing is working. And that will. So.
I mean, there's not really a lot that were consistently more than last year.
I think what he's saying is.
I know. No, I'm saying like.
Oh yeah,
like
right.
This one, yes, that's the eclipse.
Sure.
But then whatever this is, there's only like one or two.
Spikes that are really
Three.
consistent
Yeah.
with more.
Yeah. No, that's what
No,
I'm saying. Like, this year is over.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to see that. And I think what the kind of national trend right now is that visitation is just down. Traveling is down this year. And I think, I don't know what to fully attribute it to, but, I know when I would be interested to see what 2016 or 2012 looked, well, not 2012, because we had an incumbent president, they kind of knew it. But when you have a regime change, it doesn't matter if Biden's in office or Trump's in office, the people who are on the other side get scared about the economy, and there's hopefully like a little freeze for a moment. Yeah, a little lull, and then we'll see things get back to normal.
So this average dwell time, it means how long they on average are staying?
Yeah.
And they did not, it was 102 minutes?
Didn't change. Yeah.
That's weird.
I know. And some of this data, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and kind of like.
It didn't change by, it just.
By 1 minute. Right.
What are the 3 events this year that garnered over 2,000 visitors?
That garnered over 2,000. So we have the Fly by the Hive Festival, which was, and the French Heritage Festival were over 2,000. And this is just year to date. So this is January 1st to, I think when I got this data, it was like right at the beginning of August.
So the first one was the French Heritage Festival. The second blue one there, over 2K, was.
It was the Fly by the Hive.
And that was the last
What is
one
the
was?
red one behind it?
That's the French Heritage Festival. No, that's the
Honey
Honey
Festival
Festival.
last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
That last blue one, what's that last blue spike there?
I think that is the county fair.
Oh, the fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
And that's just downtown, so that doesn't include the fairgrounds. So
Was there something else going on that day?
There was ball games, River Dog tournament, and there was something else. Maybe not.
I feel like there was something. But that's good.
I think that's it.
I can say that we had over 40% of our ticket sales for some music series were out of towners
Sweet.
this year.
That's great.
Yeah. We had a lot of out of town people this year that came to our series that had,
Never,
whether
you're
they
like,
stayed or not, I don't know, but they were just, they did not have our county zip code.
yeah, there's a lot of extraneous data in here too, but I wanted to give you guys a full view that you could take home and kind of dive into. I think what's interesting is if you look at, there's a daily visits chart. It's page 8 out of 11. You can see our Friday and Saturday visitation is up pretty good over last year. So I think that all the days are like a little bit above, but Friday and Saturday kind of trump that.
So this would be more like locals,
I would think so.
and then more county people maybe come in?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, or
Not me, but
yeah,
you know
or
what I mean.
yeah, out of towners.
I love the data. I just wish that it translated to the merchants. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like we have all these people, but yet our merchants are struggling so much. So what can we do to, help them? Like, what are we missing here? We gotta be missing something.
I think one of the things that's gonna be really helpful is, our Main Street connection. I think some of what they're gonna do is try to find some of those things, because like one of the classes that I took was about the mix of your downtown businesses, right? How do you get more people in your downtown to shop, or to patronize services, or whatever you want it to be is what it's gonna be. So like Lebanon was going through that problem where they had a lot of professional services, had a lot of CPAs and lawyers, and so what they didn't have was a lot of retail. And so I don't know what our mix is now because we haven't done the survey, but I'd be curious to see what Main Street comes back with what we say, what we want in our downtown to be, and what the survey comes back and says, and how we can kind of improve on it. Because like I said, we've got 5 or 6 at least empty buildings that could be used for some purpose. Do we need another lawyer in there, or do we need a bakery? I don't know, but I think I do. But they're smarter than I am. So I'd be curious to kind of see what the answer to your question is.
Yeah, I'm curious to see that, just because I see the people walking the streets, but why are they, and they might be going into the shops, but they're not buying anything. So what can we do? I mean, and I don't think it's the quality of the items that we're offering, because it's so broad and we have a wide, great range of things
I would be
that
interesting.
spark everyone's interest.
Some things that I've been kind of kicking around is like, and this will be for the work session too, because I wonder, if we don't have an opportunity with our marketing grant to, I think kind of, I know Brock really wants to get, kind of this idea of what works as far as marketing, but I wonder if we can funnel people into using that marketing grant for something like, okay, we're gonna narrow it down to Facebook. We're gonna give the people a walkthrough of, and maybe there's an opportunity to kind of tune up flyers or tune up certain things, but a teaching moment to show people, hey, this is how you use Facebook. It is a very easy way. You can put $35 behind it. But here, we're going to use this marketing grant to make you run a campaign and then see the results. And then they go, oh, so this is what I did with $1,000, but it's not like I can't. Because I think what happens here, just from my observation, is that people don't really market their own business.
Are we too heavy reliant on events? Because
100%.
Because when we have so many events, are they really shopping in the stores, or are they shopping on the merchants out on the street?
No, we had 12,000 people here for Jour de Fête, and they didn't come in our doors, and we had more than one door open. So
That's
So
the
in a
thing, is they're
way-
not coming to shop the local merchants, they're coming to shop the vendors that are on the
Yeah,
street.
so we need to think about this grant opportunity that we're given, the marketing grant. Are we actually hurting ourselves in some ways by promoting marketing dollars for events? Are we actually cutting our own throat in a small way?
Well, and we're incentivizing people to start a festival or something like that, when there maybe the emphasis should be more on.
I'm probably gonna get slaughtered when I say this, but we have so many festivals. We are I would rather be known for, St. Genevieve to be known for 4 or 5 great festivals than a festival every month that is not well put together.
I completely agree.
It doesn't serve the merchants. It doesn't serve the merchants.
It really doesn't. And I agree with kind of where you were saying with the marketing grant. They need a teaching experience or a learning experience where
Yeah.
they don't just hand them the money. This is maybe what you don't know, and it
Yeah.
needs to have more with it.
We
I
can have a
think we're
committee
all
for that.
kind of on the same page.
And I'm just gonna say this for the TV and for the
I'll help
people
with that.
here. I did all of my summer music series this year. I did Facebook marketing and I bumped every single event. And over 40% of my ticket purchases were from out of towners.
What do you think that would Matt? I don't know what that means.
I mean, I didn't have anything to gauge it by because I didn't do Facebook marketing.
Okay.
But I literally took every event and I put $40 to every music show that I had, and I boosted every show. And I sold most of my shows were sold out except for 2. But over 40% of my ticket goers were from out of town. Doesn't mean that they didn't stay the night, but they still did it, like they were still coming to our community.
Yeah, even when you do Facebook marketing, I mean, we can go on
easy.
for hours on this, but I mean, even if you spend the money on marketing, you're still gonna get it in people's faces
Yes.
locally more than you would if you don't do
Yeah,
it.
right.
And it's literally pennies.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because you could put $40 in it, but if you don't
Yes.
get the clicks,
You
they're not
don't, it
gonna,
doesn't go there.
they're not
yeah.
gonna charge you. Yeah, you put a time limit on it. If you don't get it, you don't
Right,
get it.
that's right.
And
And you
then,
can set your demographic, you can set your radius, it's the
You
easiest.
can say I want to target men, not women. Like,
Right.
right. Who would do that?
Exactly.
But yeah, no, and I think that's what our downtown merchants should really be focused on, because I've talked to people before and they go, well, yeah, I'm trying to think of an event I can host to bring people to town. Like, if that's what you need to do to get people in your door, it's not the right thought process. The thought process is that people should be coming to shop at your place to buy what you have, not for you to have to do this circuitous amount of work and investment for you to get people to not come to your shop, just to come to
And
town.
also our downtown as a whole. I mean,
Yeah.
if our downtown as a whole is stronger, it's going to help every store down.
100%. If your store is doing well, you're going to bring
Yes.
people to come to the other stores too. They're not going to just drive to your store and then stop there. I don't know. Yeah.
We talked much, and again, this might potentially ignorance or maybe educate me, but have we talked much about billboards on the highway drawing people in from some radius out on both, south, north and south?
We haven't talked about it, but
I mean,
Well, I did think about this earlier, and I was thinking when you were talking about the Visit St. Gen app, I was thinking when that's up and like running well, I think that would be a great billboard to put up to say, download the Visit St. Gen app and see what St. Gen has to offer.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it needs work first though.
Yeah,
It does. Yes, for sure.
Maybe we need to look at this grant opportunity in a different way.
think so.
Maybe we need to look at, instead of giving a grant to the individuals who are putting on festivals, giving the grants to the merchants to actually promote their business and to promote, and can we do that?
Yeah, I want to caution you on something along those lines, because we do spend about $145,000 on marketing for the city, which is the responsibility to get people into town, but we can't do it individually by business. It's up to the businesses to pull people in. So the marketing grant is for something to bring, it is something different to bring people to town. You hope to interest them to come back again.
Sure. I think we can still
So it's just
build off of
It
that.
really is for events,
Okay.
yeah.
Making
Activities,
yeah,
yeah.
like we're talking, like making
Well,
it fun.
yeah, and even better.
Kathy, did you say we
Make-
spend 145 grand a year?
Yeah, we still got to do that.
Roughly,
You
yeah.
know,
Out of the
I would
general
love to-
budget.
It's out of, so you've got general fund, TTC fund, so you've got multiple funds that you're pulling money out of. So I'm being broad in what I'm saying, 145,000, but you've got rack cards, advertising, we've got 90,000 that we'll be talking about. Aaron will be going through the budget, so you'll see what all that is.
So maybe then we can come up with some education or something, if we can't actually
Yeah.
contribute, then we can at least contribute some education and results of marketing attempts and offer that as a, for the
I think we
businesses
can-
that request it,
Can we also limit how many we give? We do. What
Every
is
month,
it?
someone smells.
So there's 7 events we give a year.
Give up to 7,000 per event, so not necessarily 7. We can do $500
Okay.
grants. So, but we
They don't
have
always
we've
get that.
allocated 7,000. So
Okay.
Which we did talk about possibly increasing that, but we never did increase that.
How many, do you know how many events we're up to this year?
we said we were
Yeah, David has it on that paper.
Yeah.
But if we want to, if we have 5 good events, $7,000 is probably a pretty good number, actually. If we,
Yeah.
if we have more than that, then we'd be almost like
He
asking
did
for
say
more events. I thought this was funny, though. The median age went up by exactly 1 year. Yeah. 36.9, 37.9 over the course of a year. Isn't that weird?
And the grant rolls over next year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's our city budget, I'm sorry, city budget.
Yeah, city budget. But yes.
Okay. Next rabbit hole.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, the tourism director rabbit hole is now closed. We're gonna go into new business, but since we have the tourism report open, I hope we can go into the fiscal year budget 26 review, and this is gonna be really quick. So you'll see highlighted, I've got 2 lines at the top. This is the marketing plan. So TTC is not a giant contributor to that 90,000. They contribute $10,000 of that, and that was due to the master marketing plan that McDaniels gave us. And then $60,000 is for the wayfinding grants that we have, and 30,000 of that will be reimbursed by the state. And half of that 10,000 will be reimbursed by the state. So really, we're spending 35,000 of the budget. And then at the bottom line where it says marketing 23, 23, 60, 15, that is your TTC bucket of money. And you can see what I was just saying, that 60,000 for the wayfinding grants and the 10,000 in that marketing plan are reflected there. So that's just what we have proposed for this year. Nice, short and sweet.
Hey, I know we did not talk about this, and you said wayfinding to make me think, when are those signs going up, do you know?
I have a work order in, so
They're here?
they're here.
Oh, okay.
I got them in the office, but I want to change they're like that dark green, and we have that weird green color. I'm gonna get and plus Alliance wants to put sleeves on those poles so they can take them out whenever. So they're gonna take them out and spray paint them black, put them back in. And,
Okay.
and for the tops, I should really bring them in here, but we got these cool, instead of like the signs on the fleur-de-lis, we actually have these wrought iron like fleur-de-lis for the top of the signs. So they're black as well, so they'll go really good with the color. So we're just waiting on that. But yeah, they're all here.
what all is in the wayfinding sign grant?
Lots of stuff.
That's what.
Yeah. Those signs. We're gonna replace a lot of the street signs that we have, like the ferry signs. We're gonna replace the billboard at Mississippi Lime. We're gonna add little street sign markers, to implicate good little walking trails, and we're in the historic district, that sort of thing.
The water tower included in that?
The water tower is not. I don't know who to get in contact about that.
What about the water tower?
If anybody has a good contact for us to, like, I don't know who would get up
Paint the
there.
water tower?
No, just like put a decal, like with the new logo. I guess.
That's like,
Yeah, the one on land, maybe, then again, that's so.
there's more than one?
Water tower's Brad Fisher. If 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is
Okay.
3?
That's-
Okay,
that's just-
anyway.
All right.
No, it's not, but this will kind of be subject to change as we kind of go through. I have another plan to put, especially in the historic district, but put poles up, metal poles that we can hang banners across
that's
the
a good
street,
idea.
but also hang like little banners to, like, how in cities when you get
Yeah.
close to a museum, it's like, you're in the museum district. So especially like by the JB Valley and the Center for French Colonial Life, like, hey, you are now in the museum district, so that people don't just drive by and go, oh, look at these people's houses, they're cool. They'll be like, they'll actually be like, oh, we can tour these houses and that sort of thing. So
And I'm hoping to maybe get some guidance from Missouri Main Street
Yeah.
on where to put
How to
some
do
of the
that?
stuff up. Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking water towers.
We gotta do something. They're kind of more, that box down by the flood, those flood poles that on Main
Heard a
Street.
couple of
Yeah, that's just kind of strange down there.
couple of points about that. So. Yeah, well, we definitely got some money in the coffers for that, but I definitely want to make it easy for people to find the ferry, all the different things. I'm even, I don't know. There's a lot. I've got a plan for that. I can put it in the next TTC packet or send it out so you guys can see what I submitted to the state.
I think an email's great.
Email. That's what we'll do.
I lost my paper.
So that's all I got as far as FY26 budget. Transient tax strategy. So just to remind everybody, we were able to get a statute passed within the state to be able to go to the city and the county for a vote to raise a tourism transient tax. So right now we have a 2% tax within the city. We do not have a bed tax currently in the county. This would just be to people who are coming in for visits. It would be tacked on to a room rental, Airbnb or motel or hotel or something like that. We got to get a hotel in the county before we can implement this, but this would apply to things like the postcard cabins and any place that has a sort of vacation rental. So wanted to kind of talk about that, what we could do with that. I've been in talks with Trish Ersfeld from, she's the tourism director in Perryville. They have a 6% across the board there, and she kind of clued me into some of the things they used. And basically, and what's interesting is Perryville really mirrors St. John in a lot of ways. The makeup of the town and that sort of thing. And the fact that they were able to get it up to a 6% was really cool. But, people believe in the tourism department there, and they do a great job, and they've, kind of moved more into economic development. But basically, she said they just passed on that this isn't a tax on their residents, and that it's going to bolster their ability. And I feel like that too. I think there's a lot of businesses in the county that could benefit from some of the stuff that we're doing, and even some of the work we're doing to kind of point things out, like the ferry and things like that. The ferry did their that survey, and they found out that 70% of the users are tourists coming from, basically Illinois to St. John to go to the wineries and to go to places out in the county. So keep, a lot of those businesses are just kind of pushing their own wheel, which as they should. They need kind of another entity to come in and help keep those other things thriving. Or, what if we could get use some of those funds to get the trolley going on a more consistent basis on the weekend, so we have that kind of connection between downtown. A lot of interesting things that we could do with that. So I don't know if there's any, if that's another special meeting or another break-off committee that we kind of form, but we've got to kind of start thinking about, how are we going to.
The timeline on that, you want to just make everybody aware of the timeline on that then, Aaron?
Yeah, so August 28th, it goes into law. And so I think that is just a little too far past the deadline to put it on the November ballot. So the earliest we could put it on is April. Yeah.
So we'll miss out on the November election, but we could put it on the April.
That'll give us a lot of time to advertise for it, though.
It's a shame we missed out on 6 months, but it is what it is. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's gonna be interesting. I'm working with Airbnb right now to try to get them to collect that tax from people, because I know it's like to the small Airbnb owner, it's tough. I still haven't. I got an email back. We're still working on this from their bot. So I don't know when we'll see anything from that, but hopefully soonish. And then if not, we'll have to get our lawyer involved and stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess next thing we gotta elect some officers.
I think we should stick with what we got.
Yeah, I like what we have.
Okay. Just bump everybody up. Okay. Do it.
I'll make a motion for Brock to stay where you are.
I'll second.
Stay where you are.
Okay. And by what she means is Brock will be moving up from vice president.
Oh, yeah,
to
that's
chair.
right. What?
All right.
Did I just, yeah.
Call it.
Yeah, yeah, who,
She made
you
a
made the
motion.
motion? And
I
seconded it, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? All right. What other,
Do we need a vice chair?
Can I
Yeah,
nominate?
you're right.
Can I nominate?
No, you
someone?
cannot. Oh,
You're lucky.
Mhm.
You can make a suggestion.
I did.
I whispered it.
Are you trying to get back there?
I have stipulations.
It's not that much different. So,
We'll double.
I can
we'll-
Nominate Amanda.
I'm gonna, yeah,
we'll double your
Vice chair.
current pay.
I'll second that. All right, all in favor? I mean, yes,
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay.
And we need a
Should I tell my
secretary treasurer.
stipulations
Moved.
now?
You'll never be president.
David's
Perfect.
works in that role, I think.
Do we need a secretary treasurer role, or do we just disband that?
this
or
is-
whatever?
Okay, well, that is, yeah, we are on the downslope. Looks like we're going to the marketing assistance grant applications.
Let's start with the easier ones. We'll go in order, actually. So,
Do we want to, we want to have the Oktoberfest go first since they've been here
Yeah.
patiently waiting on
yeah.
us?
Becky, and you guys want to, we're gonna review yours first. Is there anything you guys want to come up and talk?
So I don't know what the procedure typically is.
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk about it.
Just talk about the event.
Okay.
I am Becky Long. I am the new president of the Oktoberfest Committee, and I kind of came into this a little late in the game here. Let me get to my notes here. Sorry, I had them up here. My apologies. I just got out of them. Okay. So, Oktoberfest is a celebration of the town's French and German heritage, and visitors are going to enjoy some traditional music, some authentic food and drinks, some artisan vendors, and some family-friendly activities like our Wiener Dog race throughout the downtown. It's a blend of old world charm and small town hospitality, and perfect for all ages to experience our culture, history, and spirit of St. John. The event will be on September 13th. In the downtown area, we will have a band. We will be utilizing the Audubon's parking lot for the beer garden, as well as a food truck alley in that area. And then we will have vendors all down Market Street.
All down Market Street?
I'm sorry, Merchant. Merchant Street.
Oh, you moved it.
Yeah, Merchant.
So Merchant Street all the way up to 3rd or all the way up to 4th?
All the way up to Danny's. Danny's will have some things that evening, yeah.
So what, exactly last year?
Yeah.
Footprint. Gotcha.
Yeah. We had initially looked at utilizing Lions Club Park, but decided that it made a little more sense to go with Audubon's. We had met with Brock and talked about that space, and then that kept everything all in one line. It was a little harder to be in Lions Club and then have all of the events sort of behind it. So,
So you're going to be doing like Facebook marketing and all that?
yep. Radio ads, radio ads, newspaper ads, Facebook marketing specifically. Looked at a little bit of like the geofencing you sort of mentioned earlier with the right age ranges and boosting those posts on Facebook. So all of those different avenues.
I hate to be a stipulator, but
Well,
this is within the
Well,
30 days.
So there's two, this is the why this gets
Prior to
confusing.
TCC.
Yeah, this is why this gets confusing because
Yeah, there was two different
first one
dates.
says it has to be submitted 30 days before the event takes place.
Well, she submitted it 6.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's, so we should,
All right. But that's not, yeah, but then that's still a little,
Okay.
yeah, okay, gotcha. All right, just wanted to get that out there and process externally a little bit. So
Move to approve.
I'll make,
Second.
approve.
It has to be a TTC member that motions and seconds, and those 5 members can vote on it only because it's not.
Are you just trying to throw us
You
off
all
too?
get your stuff. Okay. I was gonna make a motion, but I will make a motion to.
I will second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We need muzzles.
should we do,
I know, right? Yes.
should we do the downtown St. Joe's?
What's next?
We'll do the downtown St. John.
Okay. Oh, God.
All right.
There's a lot of papers today.
Everybody got the Conapalooza up?
Yep.
Do we have anybody present on it?
I know, nobody.
I mean, we're here if you want us to present on it, but
Would anybody? Yeah, I
Are
guess.
you gonna have neat shirts again this year?
yeah.
You're saying neat
For the best shirt?
Yeah. So basically, this, this is our second year as Downtown St. John took over the Pecanapalooza. Exact same thing, November 1st. We are going to be doing the 3rd Street and Market Street footprint.
Yes.
So kind of like the L, so from like Danny's to Old Brick, and then Old Brick down to the Welcome Center, or the National Park Service. That is the footprint there. We had 47 vendors last year. We've reached out to all of them again this year, and we are weeding through them now. We have a lot of new vendors actually that have come to the table.
Have you turned down any vendors yet?
We have not turned down any vendors yet.
We have before though.
We have before.
Plenty of them on North Main if you get overflowed.
Yeah, that's our hope. Just keep on going.
Just keep on going.
Pretty.
So, everything for con, we have all of our music lined up. We have, all of that scheduled out. We have the vendors going. And then I think that, Sam put us in the rural Missourian. And then we also have a couple of other things on tap for all of our Facebook. It hasn't rolled out yet. We're gonna roll that out. I thought we said after Farmers Table.
Yeah.
And then, so it'll have almost 2 full months of advertisement. And then we're also trying to place ads in like 573. We're going to be doing our radio spots. So,
Yeah, it was a pretty good event last year.
yeah, it was a great,
Yeah, it was.
great event. Sure. We actually had a couple of vendors who didn't really come prepared. I guess they came prepared for themselves, but they sold out by like noon. And so then they packed up and then they ended up leaving.
So that area by Danny's, Brock, that area, we're gonna like do more
Island flag?
seating stuff. We're gonna do like
Yeah,
more
we're
seating for
gonna
the
have a
bands
beer,
and everything.
we're gonna have a beer garden
On that.
up on 3rd Street next to the music, along with probably some food
Like in the street or in Island of the Flags?
In the street.
in the street.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, in the street. So, we're looking forward to it. Like I said, last year was our first year as a downtown organization that took it on, so, we didn't really change a whole lot because it worked. And I think the general conception for us is we wanted to stay around the 50 vendor mark because we don't want to take away from our merchants. We want people to go into their stores and into the museums and different things. And so that's why we're kind of staying between that 40 and 50 vendor mark for us, so.
We'll see, you never know.
Is that a bad or is that a?
Yeah, we want the people, bring them. Yeah.
I know I'm talking the vendors, like we're opening up to vendors only 50 booths so we can allow the foot traffic to go into our stores. So they're not just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the festival and go to the vendors and not go into the merchant stores. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'd rather.
You think
Well, maybe
more
it doesn't-
the more vendors we
The
have.
more vendors, people, if they're coming to an event, they're coming for the event, and if, so booths are good. I mean, we
Well, they
can
are,
put
but you,
booths up front.
they are, but you did just say earlier that Jour de Fête, where were the people? They
Right.
were all up on Merchant and Third,
That's
apparently.
where all the booths are.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, there wasn't more opportunity for them to go into the shops because they were checking out the booths, so.
Right, well, yeah, all the shops put booths out though, because we know that.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them. I didn't. We didn't.
Really, what were you thinking?
You know, I mean,
You have alcohol.
it's a process, and like I said, this event was never, Pecanapalooza was never intended to be a Jour de Fête ever.
No, I think it's more like quality over quantity.
Yes, quality over.
And we have, like you said, Joe, like, have we turned people down? We have, because we want quality vendors in there.
Well, and at the
Not
time
just-
that it was created, it was because there were no other festivals that time of the year. So
Yes.
the thought was, ooh, one more big festival for the town. And then, I mean, that's why we stopped doing it, because it did nothing for us. We did all this work out in the streets, but no one necessarily came through our doors. So as a nonprofit, we had to give it up. It's a great festival. But again, if a local business wants people to come in their door for something like pecan, have something pecan themed in your restaurant or in your shop, pecan scented candle, anything like that. And the people coming for the pecan festival will come to your shop. Because when we did it, we listed every local business that had pecan related item on their menu or were selling it. And people constantly ask, well, where are all the pecans? Well, you can go here and get this, this, and this, so.
A map, that's really a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a really great, is that, I mean, it's.
We did a map and brochure for rural heritage and it went over really.
Just to show like what she's saying, so.
Like where people
if
get
someone wants
pecan
to do
food stuff.
something, it'll say.
Yeah, so like if Autobahns had a special pecan dish or something, we put that on the map. And then if someone had a pecan scented candle, we put that on the map so that they knew what local business had pecan themed stuff.
Here, check it. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Maybe we can, since the downtown always does a map, I can make the.
You got it.
Oh, yeah, right.
But that would be nice to like put that out and like,
Amanda, do you second?
She has a motion.
yeah, I'll second.
Motion.
All in favor?
Motion, second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Quick question, as far as pecans,
Approved.
do we ever do anything to celebrate our pecan trees? Because there's a really great group in town. I'm not the only one, but we have 150-year-old pecan tree at Rooster.
We can put it on the map.
Yeah, let's put that on the map. Yeah.
See
Good idea.
it?
I like that.
So it can extend down to Main Street. Is it gonna be very?
I think we would just, we need to stop at the public comment up here just so we can get through this meeting. You know, I agree, I love having you guys here, but, you know, we just need to focus.
That'd be a downtown St. Genevieve meeting.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
So we have two more?
We have two more.
So you want to do this CMO F100?
Let's do it.
I do have a question on this. I know Tim's not here. When is this for?
Yeah.
April?
Right.
I was thinking it was.
Because
weird.
He's way ahead of us.
So we can't even do this because we're not in next year, right?
That's what I thought.
You just did one. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's close.
Yeah, it's gonna happen in the next
If
fiscal
the
year.
board does not appropriate the money, then no, then we'll let them.
Okay.
Is it for next year, Happy? Is that the
This is
date?
This is for next
It
day.
is
Okay.
next April, okay. He didn't put the date on there, so I wasn't sure.
That's 20 and 7.
April 25th, so.
Yeah, he didn't have the date, so I was just curious.
Well, I mean, he submitted, I mean, we can talk through this if we want, but we can also table this one if we need to, just because we have plenty of time to go back over it. And he's not here either, so,
Yeah.
and we don't have a date.
Motion to table.
Table, yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, cool. Any,
Hi.
oh, we're good. Any opposed? No. Okay, table for that one.
I like that one, bro.
So, all right, now we get to the fun one, right?
Yep.
So,
I mean, I'm not pointing at the obvious here. Yeah, it was turned into like, I mean, that's all, yeah.
What's the rest of it? What did you say?
That's all.
Oh, that
That's all I got. It was turned in late.
I think this one definitely is going to shed some light on how we amend the new one. Because this one, I feel like personally, and also just, you know, just out of just common sense, you know, and just common, you know, knowledge and the whole goal that we have with this application, with this grant. The goal of this grant is to support the people in our community with advertising for their stuff. So I really hate to see somebody not be approved for funding because of something that really is, it's not necessarily, and that's why this boils down to the actual guidelines of this, because this is a guideline that I feel like it really, it's put in there for us, you know, to have enough time to review and think about this versus it being like, you know, it doesn't change the money situation. It doesn't change really anything. And nobody could even really take advantage of this rule, right? I mean, if somebody turned it in late, they just turned it in late. It's not like somebody would do that intentionally, like they get something out of being late, you know, nobody gets anything out of that. So this one's just a tough one for me, but I'm, you know, I think we just as a board probably just take a vote and
Yeah,
go
Well,
with
they
it.
with that.
submitted $605 worth of receipts
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, the
Yeah, we would-
receipts are different than.
Yeah,
the
we would only
spreadsheet
approve
we
whatever
did.
the receipts, you know.
Right,
show.
and so I think when I looked at this stuff, it looked like what she had put on what is actually the after action log that we're supposed to get after the event that details out this with the receipts. So this was probably just a prelim, is my suspicion. And then with the email that you forwarded from Kenny, it looks like the actual expenses were provided for $605.
Yeah, this is a very unique situation. It's, but it does give us an opportunity to think about, you know, this is a good opportunity to think about how we move forward on the actual, you know, the details of this one, because, you know, because there could be a situation where you request $1,000 and only spend 800. You know, what happens when that happens? You know?
And do we check that?
Yeah,
And does it matter?
yeah, it does, and it should, you know, and that's one of the things I think we need
Yeah.
to look at and consider when we're restructuring that agreement.
And, you know, it was interesting just looking through the details. I mean, we had over 2,000 people that came for the event. So there was some benefit for the town.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking for $600 to support.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it seems like it would make sense.
Yeah.
I get
The-
that it was a little bit late. I don't know. I read through all of this. I don't think it's completely clear. I think we have an opportunity to make
Yeah.
it right and make it clear and make it simple and make the process something that people can follow. And to your point earlier, do we need to restrict the number of festivals that we have and
Yeah.
have some different stipulations? I think that's a great idea. But be a little bit more clear, be specific about the advertising, what it can be used for. I think there's a big opportunity here. I would hate to see a group that really did do something that did benefit the town. I'm sure I saw more business from it. A lot of the places did for $600.
And, you know,
And I just want to say, I'm not opposed to it. Like I said last month, I just think that once you start making consensus to guidelines, you set a precedent.
I'm 100%.
And
Yeah.
once you do
I
it
mean,
for
even if you go by
one,
the dates,
why there's a calendar.
they're both late.
Yeah.
I know, but once you go by one, you've got it, you almost have to do it for everyone else. And rules are in place and I get it. that maybe it's a lesson that he has to learn the hard way. And then, I don't know, I'm just saying, I just think that once we agree to bend the rules for one festival, we're gonna have other people come at us who do the same thing.
But we're acknowledging that we have failed in our guidelines.
But it wasn't even just our guidelines that failed. He actually failed on his part too. So we acknowledge that we failed on our end, but he also.
But on
But there was also an extenuating circumstances that
That's
stopped
his
him.
business.
I know, I'm just
But
saying.
it's listed
But
in
wait
here,
a minute.
extenuating circumstances.
But
Like,
where-
we're allowed to make that call.
Oh, it's
Even if we went off of the 30 days before the event, it's late. 30 days before the TTC meeting, it's late.
Yeah, no, what we're saying is that the extenuating circumstances of the situation kind of forced his hand as far as applying for that, earlier. And if there's something in that says
But,
that,
where's the say that in the bylaws?
and I think,
It says that in
I always simplify these things for myself. I just look at like I understand the rules, but if we know the situation and we're trying to help people in our community, it's hard for me to tell somebody no anytime, ever, you know me.
What situation are you talking about?
What do you mean? I just mean this situation, this request. This request is somebody, in our community that's requesting this, that had they turned this in on time, this would have passed every other guideline inside of this
But
application.
he didn't.
I know.
So he's asking us to be lenient with him. And what happens if someone else wants us to do the same thing?
Well, as far as the timeline goes, it's not really, that's in place for us. It's not like they could take advantage of a
Well, I
timeline.
understand that, but he also submitted it on June 18th and our meeting was on June 28th. So he only submitted it 10 days before. So I don't get a vote. I'm just giving my opinion. That's my opinion. I want to promote and support every event in this community, but I also want it to be fair across the board for everyone.
Yeah, and I think that we as a board would be fair to everyone if we make an exception. If we make an exception, I think that we should have the flexibility to make exceptions when it seems appropriate, and when we as a board agree that it's appropriate. I think that's why we have.
I think I don't disagree, but I think whenever you say that, then it's like peer pressure.
Yeah, because next time,
Yeah.
the person that comes in and we hear it's like a reality TV show, they only want the people with the sob stories. If we come in, the next person has this story about why they're late, well, we gave in to this person.
Yeah, there's
So the next
rules for a
person-
reason, and it is literally peer pressure if we don't follow them.
Right, but we're getting ready to completely revamp these
Yeah,
rules.
that's-
So this is a point for us to say, ooh, we understand where we have failed you. You have failed, we'll meet in the middle. It did benefit the town, it met all of the requirements, and we will not have this issue again because we're gonna have a workshop and fix this. So there won't be someone else with a similar story.
And I did ask the folks.
I don't know, even though we're gonna make new guidelines,
I mean,
there's gonna be
negligence
one.
of them doesn't constitute an emergency on our end. I feel like if,
Right,
that's just my opinion.
for future situations where it's clear and concise.
Well, we'll clear up a lot for you guys as far as like getting the new rules and because right now they're still, we're sitting here going 30
Well, there's not
days
really new
before the.
rules though. It's just clarifying the rules. We're not making new rules.
No,
We're
true.
just
Well,
clarifying the rules.
Right.
Because apparently people have different conceptions of what the rules are.
well, I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
everyone 30 days prior to TTC.
Yeah, there-
It's unclear for a lot of people.
So
even
when
though-
you go online to get the application, are you just getting this? Or are you actually getting this?
I have no
That's
idea.
That's a.
Because I
We
don't
have asked
find
this
this
numerous
online.
times.
David knows the
We've
answer to that.
never been able to find.
Yeah, we've asked for this several times.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
So this,
So what do they get, David? Do they get both of them or do they get just the application?
Yeah.
So they just get the application.
They don't get the guy.
If
And
they
then-
go
I don't even
online,
see this.
they're just gonna get the application. If they walk in the door and talk to me, I'm giving them the application, the W-9, the guidelines, and the spreadsheet for their after-action report. So I'm giving them the full thing, but yes, the website is lacking some of these forms.
And
But Aaron, to your
Go
point,
ahead.
you do make a good point because it does say minimum 30 days prior to TTC meeting on the application, but in the guidelines, it says 30 days
Right,
before
before the
event of the TTC.
Yeah, it's two different.
So or before the event takes place. So that does have to be clarified to that degree. I mean, is there any way to get the guidelines added to the website so when they print off the application, they get it all?
We have asked for that.
I think we can do that in our working session because all of these things come together, could be under one simplified guideline with references to each of the documents that are going to be needed or used in some way. This form, this form, this form, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, and you're going to use these forms.
That's a good point.
I think this can really be pulled under one umbrella that they can go and easily download from the website, and it's all right there in a packet.
Yes.
I'm happy to help work on this. This is really in my wheelhouse.
Fillable PDF.
I'm good at those.
I think this is just gonna boil down to a vote. I mean, somebody has to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve it.
You'll make a motion to approve what, $850?
The $650.
Can I make a-
605 that they spent.
You have a $7,000 budget, you just spent 1,000, you've only got $500 to play with, unless you amend,
What did we spend?
Your limit.
What did we spend it on?
you've only got $500 to play with.
1,000 is for next budget, isn't it?
It's next fiscal year, I
Well,
think. Pecanapalooza.
Oktoberfest is $1,000, and that's this year. You were at 5,500. Now you're at 6,500.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to
Budget.
approve
So you only got
$500.
$500, unless you amend it along with your motion.
And I mean, he's lucky that he's getting anything because it's late. So if we're going to do something, I say we don't go over our budget.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And this would be
It's a
a
good
good
thing.
way to finish up, this would be a good way to finish up the budget amount for this year.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a-
so-
It's a decent compromise.
So I have to,
You need them in here.
sorry.
Okay, so I would like to amend the motion for $500.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I
Any opposed?
Hey, good compromise. Good compromise.
David could say.
Yeah, that was nice. All right, where are we?
Yeah.
Now I can't find it. Okay.
Okay. Next meeting? Yeah.
we get to,
September 16th, yep. Anybody want to make a motion?
Besides our workforce,
I make a motion
whatever.
to adjourn.
I also just.
You wanna
I'll second.
All in favor?
I say we keep this train rolling.
Adjourn.